KNUST-TEK TV. Experience educational television.
Department of Meteorology and Climate Science, KNUST, organizes School on Air Quality and Pollution Prevention in Ghana on Monday, 23rd October 2023 at the Alote Auditorium, College of Science. The program was a crucial initiative that focused on educating and creating awareness about air quality issues and pollution prevention. The School on Air Quality and Pollution Prevention brought experts, researchers, professionals, and stakeholders to discuss innovative approaches, best practices, and latest technology in combating air pollution. The opening ceremony featured keynote addresses from distinguished speakers.
The vulnerable people also tend to suffer when they have diseases because the healthcare system that covers them is poor. In Africa, close to 1 million people die from air pollution-related diseases. It's second only to HIV/AIDS. That's the last report that came from the WHO. So the topic is huge, or it is of huge interest. We've also, Clean Air Fund has realized, we have a couple of reports we release every year. One of them is the State of Air Quality Funding. And it is only in 2021 that we see that investment in fossil fuel in Africa has reduced compared to other climate-related. Only in 2021. So most of the time, governments go out and ask donors specific for investment in fossil fuels. So one of the things we realize, there's no demand for women. We don't demand it. I don't know how many people sitting here have ever asked their local assembly why maybe there's dust or some people are burning rubbish around us. And we don't demand it.
So we are from the University of Leeds, and we set it up with a collaboration from the University of Leeds and then KNUST for the summer school. I'm happy to be here, and hopefully we will be able to learn from one another.
Overview of event objectives and other sections and workshops for the entire duration.
To this venue again, maybe till the closing ceremony. The main lectures will take place on the SF14, that's SF14, that's second floor, SF means second floor, and then 14, that's a lab to the far corner, right? And so you can actually explore and then go there and you see how it is. And we will have our dining in SF1, that's room 1 on the second floor. And of course, if there is any change in venue, we will also communicate via the Discord channel. Okay, so the Discord application, if you are not on it, kindly be on it. If there is any information, we'll run you through that right. And I think that's just pretty much everything. The school is just going to be different parts we have.
The head of Department of Meteorology and Climate Science gave the welcome address.
This is worrying. I said, no, no worry. I'm very excited. He says, why? I said, because now we all begin to pay attention to it. Because previously we thought...
Which was followed by the opening remarks from the Provost of College of Science, Professor Leonard Amekuji.
Diseases that are avoidable if we have means of monitoring and also forecasting air quality index in our various cities. Like if you are moving from here to Doom, for example, if you should know that when I get to a Doom around 2-3, the air quality there will be poor. Then you make your trip rather maybe in the morning, because soon as I'll share with you in my first lecture given here, you realize that there's a resident time for all these particles that are in the atmosphere. If there's a resident time, that will mean that some that really affects us strongly, interestingly, have rather short resident time. And so if I know that when I go to a Doom in the morning, I'll be better off than going in the afternoon. Or I go later in the evening will be the best option. I'll know when I have to travel or go to a group among others. Just to tell us that if we add air quality index, forecasting of air quality index to what we already know, it will actually save us. Aside that, there's also a way that we can avoid some of their avoidable things. For example, you see some of the sources that are avoidable using very old cars among others, which you see that these are things that we can avoid. However, as a developing country,
Dr. Pallavi Pant from the United States of America gave a presentation on the sources and emissions of air pollution from industrial, transportations, and household sectors.
Specific numbers and those maps are based on a combination of models, satellites, and ground monitoring data, but with higher.
According to experts, air pollution is the fourth leading risk factors for death and disability, with 0.5 million deaths globally.
No matter what, we know it's going to keep happening. Okay. Once again, this I feel like Dr. Pallavi and Professor Leonard have really.
You have devices made in Africa or made in a country from Africa. It's difficult to get that. And it's because we have like several limitations. First of all, if you want to develop any hardware product, setting up a manufacturing plant is quite cost intensive. And then you find that they are limited.
Very high bias in what you see. It is true that we have a high dust, but that is seasonal. And so we don't expect that to have all-round average to that way. So that's one thing.
Of pollutants in Ghana. I found it as a very interesting opportunity to partake in this so that I can learn more on the other side of air pollution affecting health of Ghanaians, and then also looking at the new ways to which we can improve air quality in Ghana.
I'm meeting new people with new mindset and opportunities for me, and I'm also glad to be participating because I heard there will be a practical aspect, and also in the academia, I want to learn more.
Clean Air Fund is sponsoring the summer school, the first of its kind, on air pollution, on air quality and pollution prevention, in collaboration with the University of Science and Technology and the University of Leeds. We have recognized that there's a gap in knowledge on air quality and pollution prevention, and we believe that it is important to bring especially the youth and early career professionals together and industry players to undertake this 2 weeks intensive training to understand the dynamics of air pollution, the key sources, and profess also solutions which will go to augment the work of the Environmental Protection Agency, which has the mandate to regulate and enforce the rules on air pollution. We are also very keen to highlight that it is not just a question of air pollution, it's also about the impact of the pollution.
Clean Air Fund Fellowship, that's for journalists. So we had to undergo a 10-month intensive training where we produce air pollution related stories, and then being part of the fellowship, I thought it would also be an opportunity for me to join this summer school, particularly to meet scientists and to meet industry persons who can also help me when I am doing stories on air pollution.
The lectures that I've already participated in, most of the highlights that I got from them is the contribution of air pollution to mortality, most especially in the poorer regions, especially in Africa. We've got to learn that annually over 1 million people die in Africa due to air pollution issues. And some of the diseases that I didn't know that they are caused by air pollution, example like stroke, I got to get a deeper understanding of some of those things. Yeah. I only want to be grateful to the Department of Meteorology and Climate Science, KNUST, Department of Meteorology and Climate Science, Leeds University, and then the Clean Air Fund for giving us this opportunity to come and build capacity and to impact positively to society. We want to say a big thank you to them, and we want to hope that this will not be the end. A series of this capacity building will be made available to young people to develop themselves and impact society positively. Thank you.
Tech TV. Experience educational television.